Hello, welcome to the Pioneer Spotlight. I'm Josh Crew. Each week here in the Center for Media Innovation, we feature a Point Park Pioneer team, athlete, or coach. And this week here in the CMI studio, we're joined by the head coach of the cheer and dance teams now in their second season of competition, Bettina Herold. Bettina, thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you for having me.
Year two of the program, what did you learn from year one, and how did year one go for the cheer and dance teams?
Year one was a great first year. We came out as our first year ever competing at the collegiate level. We had a really good showing. We were just a few spots out from making it to nationals. Our key takeaways were that we knew that we needed to recruit more to grow our competition rosters, and we knew that we needed to increase our skill level on the floor.
How was that recruiting process like for you? How did the roster really has expanded this season? What was that recruiting process like?
Well, we have had a lot of interest in this recruiting year. We had a lot of interest in the dance team, so our dance team has pretty much doubled in size. And then we did have a focused increase of recruiting on the men's side, so now we have 4 males on our competition roster for cheerleading.
How will the addition of males onto the roster to make it a really co-ed team now, instead, like last year, no males on the team.
Right.
This year you get 4. How do they help contribute to the team this year and push you guys to the next level?
So in cheerleading, they do only have one division. But they do counteract the effects of that by scoring you differently with all girl or co-ed. So now we'll have some co-ed stunts going into the routines. They add strength, they add just the visual effect of having males. So now we have a bigger team on the floor.
And coming back this season with a lot of returners from last year, you get an experienced club coming back. Who are some of your top returners? Some of the top cheer and dance performers in the country last year, with some getting honorable mention All-American nods and one getting an All-American nod herself.
Well, we do have 6 seniors this year, which is a large amount of our roster. I have 6 athletes that do both cheer and dance, so they're the most well-rounded athletes that we have. They come to all of our events, all of our practices, all of our competition. My juniors and seniors have the most experience with competing, so we're looking to them to be the leaders on the competition floor. We did have one All-American for dance, Emily Kirsch. She will be joining us back for cheer and for dance, and we will be putting her back up to try out for All-American again this year. And then Deanna Harris and Darian Lady are both seniors that also do both cheer and dance, and they will both try out for All-American again this year.
Now, fans have the opportunity to go see the cheer and dance teams perform at the home basketball games. Now, what is different between what they see at the basketball games and what you guys put on the competition floor?
That's a good question. So there's a couple differences, being time constraints and safety constraints, especially for cheerleading. So for collegiate competition routines, you can do a high elite level of skills that are not permitted to be performed on a basketball court for this national safety guidelines. So the things that we see at games are kind of watered down. They're things that we're allowed to do on the floor, but they might mimic what we do on the competition floor. Dance team, we have kind of crowd routines, so not our traditional competition routine, but more little specialty dances. You'll see more skills on both teams for our competition routine.
And the first competition quickly approaching. How have the practices been going? How comfortable are you feeling moving into the competition season?
Yes, our first competition is December 8th at Concordia. It's a dual match against both their cheer and their dance teams. We have been competing or practicing fiercely to get ready for this competition, as well as for the basketball games. So that's tough to balance that. We put a lot of effort into our pep rally this year so that we were able to get the skill and endurance where it needed to be. So right now we have a baseline. We're going to go into the first competition, see how we do, and then use the break to revise a few things before we go into January.
And finally, after a good first year, a good solid first year, where do you set the bar here for year two? Where are your goals set going into this season?
So now that I see how the system works, and there's been a couple of administrative changes that the NAI has made for cheer and dance and how things will play out for making it to nationals, our goal is to qualify for nationals this year. Coming so close, especially for the dance team, has been our motivator to work very hard to ensure that our showing at regionals and regular season competition really brings us up to the level that we will make it there and represent Point Park.
We'll be sure to see this team represent Point Park on the basketball floor. Catch them at any home game, like we said. And be sure to follow us online at pointparksports.com and on social media at Point Park Sports to get all of the competition results from this team. We're really excited to see what Cheer and Dance has in store for year 2. Thank you so much for coming down.